Disclaimer, that's his younger brother.
My name is Joy, and I'm here to support Easy Drain and be part of it too. Thanks.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Gerald, and I'm the best at Easy Drain.
Hello, my name is Michelle Cook, and I am here as a supporter of Easy Drain, and I am also a fan of Charles.
My name is Sylvester Lwach. I'm a member of the Easy Drain marketing team.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Evans Alweni, I'm also part of Easy Drain marketing team.
Right.
Good evening. My name is Makori Destin. I'm also the president of the school.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ezra. I'm here. And,
That you're the brainchild.
You're the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
welcome all. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Oh.
All right, so we'll get more seats. As you can see, the Easy Drain family is growing. It's growing fast. All right. Yes. Next time we're gonna go to Cowboys Stadium. So at this time we'll have Sylvester. Like we had a meeting like a month ago, and that was the very first meeting, consolidated meeting. So we'll have Sylvester speak to us and just remind us what we went through, what we talked about last time, so we can take it from there. Sylvester, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It will be a little jumbled up because since our last meeting, we have had 3 marketing team meetings. And then through those meetings, a few things have been updated. So I will just bring everybody up to date as to where we are. Because what the marketing team is doing at the moment is basically working on the ultimate goal,
And
which
the
is
marketing team is leaving.
No!
We'll be back.
Yeah, it's just working on the ultimate goal to get Easy Drain Care products into the market. And the way we are going to do that is that we are going to have a launch. And there's an already tentative launch date. So I'm just going to go through the last notes that we had as regards to where the plan is. And then the key thing today, I think Ezra and Stella will clarify that further, is so that we learn how exactly to sell Easy Drain. So before I get into the notes, I just want to say briefly that the key motive in life is just to be happy, to feel good. So everything you are going to do in Easy Drain, be it selling, be it investing, there's something at the back of your mind that wants you to feel better, to get better, to feel good, to be happier, right? So my prayer for everybody here will just that you gather whatever riches you can by working with Easy Drain or for Easy Drain, or at whatever level you will be. And the very first thing I would wish this brings you is a very sound physical health, that out of working with members of Easy Drain, it somehow leads you to that. Also attached to that, that it will ultimately give you a peace of mind somehow. You find a balance to get a peace of mind. And then within Easy Drain again, may you find a vocation of your own preference, which I would call a labor of love. It gets you to do something you really enjoy doing. If that happens, it can eventually lead you to a more free mind, and then that brings freedom from fear and worry, because those two things give you a lot of procrastination as a person. And more than 90% of your failures in life will come from procrastination. If you overcome fear and worry, you trample that, and then you will just be fine. If you do that successfully, it leads you to the next level where you will approach everything. You come through with a positive mental attitude. And to reach there, it just means anything that happens in your life, you somehow believe something good, however difficult it is, something good will come out of it. If that works out, you will gather any material riches of your own choice and quantity. And that's my prayer for everybody. So I'll just go ahead and read the final notes that this is from the meeting of yesterday, which is most updated, which was held in Arlington at 11 a.m. yesterday by the marketing team. So to help in marketing, we were working on brochures. I know they'll be able to show you the brochures, and those were ready yesterday, the electronic version. And the print version will be ready by this Wednesday, which will be the 29th. Also, it was proposed that people who will be working with EasyDrain, oh, sorry, I need to backtrack, Ezra. There was something about NDA. Were they ready? Okay, so I'm good to continue. All right. Then everybody working with EasyDrain will have an email address at easydraincareproducts.com. Those should be ready to go by the 28th January. So at whatever level you'll be working for EasyDrain, you'll have that email address. Then the website is being redesigned by TGC, which is Eli's consultancy firm. And we expect that to be ready in a couple months for it to be good to go. And then by end of this month, Ezra is working on listing a board of advisors, which is more like a board of directors, but the functions are different. So, and then Malcolm and Stella will be heading sales and marketing. Yeah, and the training, yeah. And then the launch, the intention of the launch of the EasyDrain Care product is that anyone who needs to do business with EasyDrain will know about EasyDrain. That's the intention of the launch. And that will take going into the marketplace and making a big splash. Those are the words of Eli.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
I'm watching you, I'm listening to you.
yes, there's need to give very, very serious thought to the launch, irrespective of what level you're working with EasyDrain. We also got to hear from Eli, based on his market psychology, that the most effective launches happen on Monday or at the beginning of the month. So it has to be beginning of week or beginning of the month. And for that reason, we have a tentative, a hard launch date of May 4th, 2020. There was also some psychology around there that launches cannot be done in the summer. It has to be either spring or fall, because in the summer people are tuned out, and yeah, after October also people are now in holiday mood. So that's why that date was chosen. And then there was something about Kenyan subsidiary, which we said was not urgent. And then before the launch, there is need to have the legal, financial, operations, and media all good to go. Then once the board of advisors is appointed, if you happen to be in that, there will be monthly meetings for the board of advisors. And then there is they need to have the website running. And then now there is urgent need for the marketing team to pace up the preparation, because we are now running close to that launch. On administration issues, the scripts, I think that might not be very relevant now. And for the sales, there will be 3 types of scripts. You will get scripts that deal with cold calls, emails, and face-to-face interactions. They will go more into it. Eli is at the sales training, so that was also talked about yesterday. And then there is a need to have different pricing for large, mid-size, and small buyers, but that is not something that is concluded. It's at a suggestion stage.
That's not, entirely accurate, but that's what I do for large, medium-sized, small fires. For Easy Drain, it's going to be different. All I'm saying is that we need to have a meeting specifically
For
on
pricing.
pricing
Okay.
to
Good.
nail that down, yes?
Yes, and then that will be passed on to the sales team once it's done. Okay. Yeah, and then there will be need for formation of strategic alliances with the professionals for Easy Drain. So even if you are a member here and you have people in mind who can make some impact, of course with the guidance of Eli and Stella, you will be able to find a way we can network with them. And then another important thing that we are working on is the test market, where we'll take the actual bed to a facility like a hospital or a nursing home or home care. And
Ezra, please just talk to us about the company, Easy Drain, the company, and then Mr. Wesonga will talk to us about Easy Drain products. We have a bunch of
In the state of Texas, and its main functions or what we are dealing with will be inventing, designing, manufacturing, and marketing our own products.
Can I make a request, please? Everybody mute your phones, please. These are very important presentations. And we need
God said a little bit. Okay. We invent, design, manufacture, and market our own products. So we are a company which is standing on its own. We are not getting somebody else's product to sell, or are we taking or selling things we get into without knowing where they started from. So all our products you designed, manufactured, and will be pushing to the market. Having said that, it's a startup, so all those people in this room are pretty much in the beginning stages of this company. And we are hoping that we'll be growing at a rapid pace, and hopefully everybody will be feel rewarded at some point being associated with this company. Formerly, it was known as M&M Technologies when we started working on the invention of the products. And last year, we changed the name to Easy Drain Care Products LLC because we thought that was a very good name for all our products. And since most of our products deal with healthcare and incontinence and things like that, we thought that was a very good name. The company you are seeing now did not start yesterday. This is something which over the years I have worked on, and sometimes you get discouraged, you put it aside, and then the motivation comes and then you work on it. And I could say it started about 10 years ago, but on a serious note, when I started working consistently on the project is about 2 years ago. And I believe most of you in here, over the last 2 years, you have had some contact with what I'm working on and up to where we are right now. So I don't think I have really much to say about that, but I'm sure I'll get a chance later on to talk about more about the products and all that is included. But for now, that's what I can say. It's a startup, LLC, limited liability company, and we do everything you will see in our company will be from scratch, something we invent, we design, we manufacture, and we sell. So we are not touching anybody else's products out there. So later on, I'll have a chance to talk more, but right now, Mr. Matoki, I think I will yield right now, and then I'll talk about it.
Okay. So this time we'll have Mr. Wesonga speak to us. Thank you very much, Ezra, for that brief and very good company. So Mr. Wesonga, please. So Mr. Wesonga is going to talk to us about the products, Easy Drain products.
afternoon, everyone. My name is Steve Onambosunga. I'm an investor in EasyDrain. I know I'm supposed to talk about the product, but I want to give you just a brief history of how I got involved with EasyDrain. So, as most of you who are married know, most men go home and tell their wives, oh, you know what? I have an investment opportunity. Oh my God, I have the next big thing. So I usually tell my wife, oh, you know, I have this investment, I have this business, I have this and that. So one day, me and Mr. Jerry were in the bar, drinking. So he tells me, oh, you know what, there's a bed opportunity. So bed. So for me, personally, I was like, you know what, that's an excuse I can use to stay up until 2 a.m. But when I go home, I tell my wife there's a bed, because every time she's like, hey, let's go get this number bed. The other thing that now the guy can have like a 45-degree angle and stuff, snoring, and the wife, I was like, we drank all night actually. Yeah. We did. But I was like, this is the perfect excuse to go home and tell my wife, oh, you know what, we have a bed that we are trying to invest in. She didn't believe me, of course, obviously. So, you know, we spoke about the bed, so he introduced me to Ezra. We saw the bed, and I kept on telling her, babe, you know what, there's a bed we're trying to invest in. And she's like, you know what, you're just a liar, as usual. You just go drink. If you want to stay up till 2, it's fine, but don't lie to me about a bed. So I brought her here today to see the bed. So, believe me, it's really a bed. I've done my share of investing, and I've lost a lot of money. I've made some money, in some investments I've made. I've lost a lot of money. Most of my investments have been in Africa, in Kenya, and Uganda, since my wife is Ugandan. So we do a lot of investments out of the country. But me and Patrick, Mr. Gerald, Mr. Gerald, we invest a lot here in the US, and he's the one who introduced me to EasyDrain. And I've met Ezra, we've spoken together, we've kind of, I've believed in this product. I've believed in the potential, because you know, we are all investing in a potential. We really don't know what it's going to be, and we have to just invest in a dream, because literally this is a dream. This is the prototype. We've not sold anything. It's not like we're investing in Walmart or Amazon that's proven that it can actually make money. And a lot of people don't invest in dreams. And my personal opinion is, this is a dream that you have to be willing to stay the long haul. You know, it's a long-term investment. It's not something you're going to make money next year or in the next 2 years. You have to think about it in the next 5, 10, 15. For me and my wife, we're thinking about this is an investment for our children. You know, at this point, you have to think about it in terms of they're going to be rough years. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. But we have to be able to know that it's going to be a very, very long-term investment. But I believe in this product. In terms of the long-term investment, the long-term returns, you have to believe in such a product. So that's my introduction. So now, let's talk about the bed. It's designed to be waterproof. It's a waterproof mattress. So the brainchild of the bed. So it's a typical hospital bed. You know, most hospital beds, you go to a PR, it's a bed. You go, you're treated. But what makes this bed different is a mattress that even if you need to go to the restroom, because most of you go in the nursing, me, I'm not in the medical. Need to go to the restroom, because most of you go in the nursing, me, I'm not in the medical industry. So what makes this bed different is patients who cannot go to the restroom, patients who cannot walk to the restroom, patients who cannot be able to help themselves can sleep on this bed, and you can be able to go, and the mattress will suck either solid. So now this is just for liquid waste, but we have products that can also do the solid waste. So it has a reservoir at the bottom that can take the liquid and solid waste. It has tubes, and by the way, we have patented. So it's not something that anybody else has. And for me, most investors who would even say that you thought about it, you researched, you designed, redesigned, designed again, redesigned again, and came up with this product. And let me tell you guys, honestly, this is where we all need to be. We have a marketing team that's gonna push us to the next level. I personally believe this is a game changer. Even if you get a 0.2, whatever percentage you can get of this bed, my personal opinion, because I'm not in the medical industry, I do not know anything about the medical industry. You too do not know anything, but you saw the potential in this product. And we spoke last time.
Thanks.
No. Medical industry.
I've never been insulted in a presentation.
Yes. You called everybody out last time, and I'm going to call you out today.
Okay, then call me out.
The potential that we have in this product, it's a solid product. The research has been done, and the prototype has come. You know, I always say people sell dreams, but dreams never come to fruition. This is a dream that has actually come. We have a physical product that will actually do good. I think as we were speaking the other day, you're telling me that a lot of hospitals, each hospital spends what, $45,000 to $55,000 for each patient who gets a UTI because of a catheter. I do not know that. So the fact that you put a catheter in a patient, I think you're telling me for every 100 patients, 20% will either get a UTI, which will cost a hospital $50,000 or $60,000 per patient. So can you so imagine if you present this to a hospital and say, you know what, we'll save you $50,000, or potentially save you $50,000 for every patient that you do not have to put a catheter in. Think about the potential. Think about the selling point of such a product. So let me stick to the script. I don't usually stick to scripts, but anyway. This is specifically designed kind of bed with a waterproof mattress that has strategically placed drain tubes which allows fluid to drain through the mattress via the tubes, which you can see, into a collection reservoir under the bed. This is aimed at improving the situations of patients who suffer from urinary incontinence by keeping the patients dry. Of course, reduces discomfort and helps reduce skin breakdowns. The unit comes in 3 versions of module. The manual bed with 2 functions, semi-electric 2 function, and a fully electric 3 function. Of course, the price breakdown will be different based on the bed that the patient buys. Because some markets would want a fully electric, some markets, of course, would want a semi-electric, and the lower end will probably want just a fully manual bed. Some hospitals want a fully electric, some will want a semi-electric, some will want a manual function. And of course, you know, as you said, we have to figure out the pricing of all 3 beds. In the future, the product will be designed for bariatric patients and children. I mean, the children part. The unit will extend and elongate width and length. So the bed is not like a standard, you know, it's a start, like you can adjust the bed based on the patient who is, and you can extend their foot, which is pretty big, and will be designed to accommodate up to 600 pounds. I mean, I don't know anybody who is 600 pounds, but that I think covers everyone, right? Functions of the invention: it improves hygiene of bedridden patients, saves time and energy of healthcare staff and workers. Center section has a removable option. This is the center section. So this actually can be removed. And there'll be a demo to show how this can actually be removed. Works for healthcare facilities or home care. So it's not just geared to big hospitals. I know we can sell to individual customers, 1 unit, 2 units, and also to big hospitals, 100 units, 200 units, 200 units. And the pricing also differs. You know, if you're a single unit buyer, of course the price will be lower, or I'm not sure how the pricing is, but obviously if it's a single unit, the pricing will differ. It works for healthcare facilities and home care, collects urine and fecal matter in easy and easy to empty collection tanks, which is, once you do the demo, you'll see the collection tank is actually under there. Once you do the physical demo of the bed, you will see it. The drain tubes, work in progress. I know we had to do some modifications of how the drain, so we had, it's a work in progress, but I'm sure once we have the final product, it will be much better. The matters can either be air inflatable or foam or spring. It eliminates pooling of fluids, drains through the bottom of the bed through collection of funnel to hold the tank. Inexpensive solution for incontinent issues. Egg crate surface on center section prevents pooling of fluids, can be attached to a suction tube, waterproof, and is very easily cleaned. And I think in the last meeting we decided, like the suggestion was most hospitals will probably have two. So when one is being cleaned, the other can be, easily replaced. So, there's no, stoppage of usage of the bed. The products help avoid catheter use, as I was saying, 50,000 per patient. That's a lot of money. I mean, just to treat a UTI for each patient, you can imagine how much savings a hospital will gain by saving $50,000 per patient, who may or may not. 20%, I think. I'm not sure the percent. I think it's 20% of patients who have catheter use have to go through the UTI treatment, which is a lot of money. So that's the bed in front of you. That's the bed. So this is a modified hospital medical bed with a built-in commode, with a water tank and a water reservoir. This supplies alternative toilet option for those who are bedridden, incontinent, paralyzed, or injured patients. It allows the patient to be in control of when to relieve themselves without relying on or waiting on caregivers to assist them. Helps patients maintain a sense of independence and dignity despite physical ailments and limitations. This is a uniquely designed seat cushion. So we have like a seat cushion that now, with a reservoir tank attached to it, it has a drain holes through a waterproof cushion which allows urine fluids to go into the tank via one-way valves. So now the valves even prevent now the smell of either urine to come up. So the valves are one-way. So because I think one of the biggest questions is, so even if you go in, will the smell come up? So we have one-way valves that will prevent now all the smells from coming out, because once the urine or whatever goes down, the valve will prevent everything from coming out. And that's the seat. I'm not sure about the pricing. So that's an example of the bed, of the seat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
he's moving you along.
I know. Done.
That's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good job, good job.
It's the same like this, but it does not raise up and down. For this one is full electric, they have the same function, so we are going to dismantle the middle part. The mattress is broken down into 3 sections. At the bottom we have 2 that can fold once you leave the feeder. Then at the top is just regular. Of course here Ezra has the dream pillow. We will take care of this later. So the rails can get off. So the middle part is where we have the pattern. Up. Then underneath, we have the collection bay. Can be removable, cleaned up. And then on the bottom, we have the collection tap, which is connected with the collection tray. We have the fitted sheet, which in the middle, once you pour some water or somebody urinate, then it goes all the way down. For those who are here last time, we demonstrated how you pour the water on that. We hear 95% of the water goes through, then it can be collected down, then the 5% that is remaining, it can dry within 15 to 20 minutes. For those who go to the hospitals, this is what they will be wearing instead of the briefs or the diapers. And this can hold the bowels, then the urine can seep through. Then, of course, after this can be reusable and be washed reusable. The bed can adjust the head. And the feet. Then it can go up and down.
And may I say, this is the first time I've heard Dennis's voice. He never says anything good about me. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so because infections, especially in the hospital, is a big problem, just like you heard about the UTIs and stuff. So we'll have the younger Nyankira talk to us about infection control.
So anyway, to give you a little history about myself before I can even say that I'm anywhere in qualified to talk to anybody about infection control. I think that I've been in nursing for quite a little bit. I was actually, I started down today in trying to write a presentation. Because when I was asked last week to prepare for it, I did not.
No worries. I haven't made my presentation yet.
So anyway, I got trained from Anoka. Anything we got solved in 2005 was I just a nurse. So from there I had to come years, how many years I've been in nurse until today. So I was looking back and wow.
2020. That would be 2020, yes.
15 years I've been doing nursing. I've seen a whole lot of beds, but I've never seen anything like this until now. I mean, this year when this recording. And I was in Minnesota, we had moved down to Texas a little while ago, when we needed a change. And we can believe it, we moved down there. And I went to look for a job, I found a job, I took the hospital for up. It's a long time I took care. And believe me, it's a champion. That's where I'm finding every infection of Jamaica, except in border. We didn't see border there. We see everything. And then, one of the things that we have to do is to make sure that those infections don't go from one patient to the next that comes into the health. And that's the easy portion is to talk about this bed and how we can keep the infections down and how we can keep our patients from getting more infections. Anyway, for my 10 years in Kindred, I learned yesterday when Ezra told me, last week when he told me to prepare for this presentation, I learned that my hospital that I've worked for 10 years is shutting down. And we had a 60-day notice. So everybody was like, how is this? I mean, what are we going to do? We have this person here, we jump the system, we can always keep this challenge, we will get sick because we've seen everybody. So we was in a shock. So that's part of the reason why our presentation is getting up and look at that and we project it on the time. All right. And then, of course, another fear is that I found out that I have to wear a suit today. Now I don't want a suit. Those who know nurses and people who work at healthcare, they wear suits. They wear what? Yes, we call those pajamas, and we wear pajamas. So I've been wearing pajamas for 15 years until today I found out that I was wearing suits. So I put it on, and it was all nice and good. Except that I was so excited, I lost the button. So there it is. See, I'm missing a button. It's okay. I mean, things are going to happen along the way to get your goals met. Okay? But you don't have to give up. You have to show up and just keep going. And then, of course, one last thing before I get to the infection. I was talking to my friend Stephen over the job. He's like, hey, you look like you've been going to school for a long time. I said, yeah, I left school. I've been going here for about 15 years and I haven't graduated yet. Stephen is graduating as a master's in business administration. And when we were comparing our credits, I have 20 more credits than him. He's graduating as a master's. And I don't even have my bachelor's. I'm like one course away from getting my bachelor's. So I've been in school for a long time. So some things, what I'm trying to say, some things do take time. You don't have to give up. I mean, you can just keep going. Keep one foot in front of the other and just keep going. You get there one way or another. Okay. Back to the bed and inspections. This away from me. So this bed, the idea that people can leave themselves and the urine go down and then catch it at the bottom. It's got a couple of advantages. One, we can measure the urine. You know, one of the things a lot of doctors and hospitals are concerned about is output. Whatever you take in, you're going to be able to check it out somehow. So you're going to be able to measure that output and find out how much you're giving to the patient and how much they're putting out. Because if they're not putting out, it means there's a problem. If there's a problem, usually problem is, number one, if they're not putting out, it's the kidneys. The heart is not pumping enough, the kidneys are not working right. Okay. And as you guys know, they like to know that early because they can do something about it. If they don't, the kidneys and the heart fail, and if they fail, they're very expensive. If you don't have a kidney, or if your kidneys are dead, it costs the government a lot of money because then you have to go on Medicare and Medicaid. You have dialysis 3 times a week. Everybody knows how much money that can cost. But that's not our problem. That's a reasonable problem. Ours is, this is going to help our hospitals to stop using the urinary catheters. I mean, if anybody here has recently been in a hospital, they know the first thing, if you are not in surgery, you don't need a catheter. it needs to come out. You come to the ICU, they want to get that catheter out within the next 48 hours. If we can get it out, then you get infected, the cost. My good friend over there talked about the cost. It costs a lot of money to treat a urinary tract infection. Especially if it's caused by a catheter that Medicare and Medicaid do not pay a dime for that. So that means the hospital has to come out of pocket to treat that infection. But if you was gonna get the urinary infection, you're gonna get it regardless. You're gonna get it if you had a catheter, you're gonna get it if you didn't have it. The goodness is if you get it without a catheter, then you get to bill Medicare and Medicaid, wherever the insurance is saying, okay, we did not put the catheter in this patient, but they have a urinary tract infection, we have spent tons of money, but now you need to pay us, and they will pay. But if they had a catheter in there, then they're not going to pay. So hospitals are losing a lot of money, and they're cracking down on the employees and everybody to get those catheters out. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't know how else you can take care of a patient if you don't put a catheter in. They got wounds everywhere. But thanks to Easy Drain, they're coming up with a product that everybody out there in the marketplace is going to admire. It may not look attractive, it may not look beautiful, it does not have makeup or anything, but for those that know how much money they spend on the urinary tract infection caused by catheters, trust me, you don't have to say a word after you present this to them and they will say yes, because this is the product. Now, the couple of other housekeeping issues. A bed, just like any other bed, we're gonna have to clean it up. We just can't let it be filthy and not take care of it. If we have a patient on there and the patient's gone home, we're gonna have to clean that bed. And how do we clean it? Well, it's a lot of ways we can clean beds. We can use common products they have out there. The hospital spray down and wipe it. And how do we clean this portion over here where there is urine that is gone through? You got a couple of options. These hospitals have money. They can choose to just buy a different thing for every patient that comes in, and they can be able to do that because they save a lot of money from it. However, if they can't, they can use common products like a bleach, 1 to 10% sprayed in there. Go in with a brush and just clean it up real good and let it dry. Dress it up and put it up for the next patient. Then we get to worry about infections. Oh, don't worry about infections. You know what? I got something for that. If we say the breaches and everything that cleans the products say they claim 99.9% killing the germs. That's pretty good, guys. 99.9. Is that not a good number? I like 99.9%. That's very close to 100. Using 99.9%, that's a very good thing. But then here's the kicker. If you had 5 million colonies of bacteria and you kill 99.9% of it, how many colonies do you have left? You got about 500, right? 500 colonies. That's 0.001% that you didn't kill, right? If that bacteria multiplies every hour, doubles every hour, in less than 24 hours, you're going to have more than what you started. So don't be really fixed about, I killed everything, or I mean, those bacteria, they've been there and they're going to continue to be there. That's why we tell people, wash your hands, protect yourself, do not cross-contaminate from one patient to the next one. Because if you really start thinking about bacteria, that's a subject by itself. That's why they are microbiologists. That's all they do. They just look at those bacteria all year long and they get paid a lot of money to do that. But that's not what I want anybody to think about. Just contact precaution. If you got your patient here, they have whatever they have, just if they don't have any other infections, other precautions, gloves, and you're good. If you're taking care of your patient, wear gloves. Wipe down the surfaces and just go away. If they got diarrhea, then you're gonna use those bleach wipes. Make sure that you clean that good. If they got other things like MRSA and VLE, then you get to wear a gown and glove whenever you touch your patients and you need. But do not get too fixed into how many bacteria is in there and how we're gonna clean that. They're everywhere. If you go to the bathroom and you use the bathroom and you didn't wash your hands and you come out, and then you touch the door to go to the bathroom and you see that you didn't clean your hands and you come back, do you know what you've done? You just took those bacteria out of the door that the previous person left and you just put it in the groin where there is good moisture to multiply bacteria. So you're just coming out, you're just growing bacteria, and then by the time you get home 24 hours later, you have more bacteria than that bed itself. So, but it doesn't kill you. Okay? So don't get worried about those holes in there. You know, those holes are gonna be. That's the same thing. It might be better than the groin. Okay? And to just not to bore you. Just get out of this stage and sit down and give somebody else a chance to talk. We said that the hospitals are used to on the other side to treat infections associated with the catheter is about ranges from 10, 20, 30, 40, and the highest like $80,000. And if a hospital is using that kind of money to treat a patient, and they don't get reimbursed, and you tell them, I can give you a product that you don't have to use that catheter, and then if that patient gets infected anyway, which they're going to be, this 80 grand you spend to treat this patient, you can be reimbursed, that's a good product. And then over here saying that if you could have asked Ellen Ford what people wanted, big people could have said they wanted a faster horse. And he said, no, I'll give you a car. So, think about it. You could have asked people today, they could have said, well, you took that catheter, we want the one that goes outside. But that's not the case. Today we're giving you a secret. Thank you.
Ezra, I don't want to follow him. Edward, let me know if you need an agent. I'm serious about that. Yes, let me know.
Eli.
Yes.
You have to go through me.
Yeah. Next time, put him last.
Oh, I didn't know he's
He's
very
good.
charismatic. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's great.
Because he never says much. You're good. All right, so this time we'll have Evan speak to us about pricing of EasyDrain products.
Eli, why are you worried?
I'm very worried.
Don't worry.
Oh, I'm worried.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I believe we are all excited to be here. And the most exciting part, especially for investors, is when you see, hey, where I put my money, is it going to multiply? But before we go to that presentation, because and this is just for the sake of our investors, including yourself. Ella and myself are trying to find a common ground on pricing. That's why it's just on me. But let me say this. Last year when you guys had a meeting like this, I was in Kenya. So I didn't have a privilege to be here with you. I must say that I'm happy to see everyone here. I was in Kenya. I was there for almost 2 months. Part of the reason why I went to Kenya is EasyDrain. And I just want to mention this. The excitement we have here, we also have it back home. Because some of us who come from Africa, we understand what is there. We don't have a bed like this. But if we do, it's for a few. But I guarantee you that we don't have a bed like this anywhere in the world. And that is the truth. So we are trying to also solve our problem back home. So I've had a privilege of knowing Ezra and the family. Madam is there quiet. By the way, we really need to thank Madam. She's the reason why we're here. Right? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We should clap our hands. So I've had a chance of knowing Ezra for, I think, probably more than 10 years. I must say that I should thank my God. For those ones who know Ezra, he's a quiet guy, but always thinking. So if you are next to him, he will tell you, you learn a lot. You learn a lot, and I hope it's a journey that we'll keep walking for the rest of our life. So I had a privilege 2 years ago to represent a group called Western Bloc, when they assigned me to accompany Ezra to see, you know, when they say when you see, you believe. So Ezra brought the idea before us, and these guys told me, hey, you're the one. I said, well, man, let me go. So Ezra and I went. When these products was an idea that some company was working on. So Ezra and I went. We sat there quietly, and then this guy had this kind of setting. I just looking at the presentation. I said, man, really? In my life, before, I didn't know anything to do with innovation, to do with apartheid. Those who were foreign words before me. So this guy took us through the process. And then I came back to the group and I told them, hey guys, we have something here. That's how the journey began. And for me, as a person of the group, for us to have a product like this is an achievement. We can shut the door and say bye because we have achieved something. At least we have something here. We have something to show somebody. It's not like a dream that you have, oh, I'll build something, but we have a product here. Secondly, this, according to me, we are not in the business of rewarding ourselves. I do believe if we do good, we'll be rewarded. We'll be rewarded if we do the perfect job. If we find a problem out there and then we find a solution to it, we'll be rewarded. So the numbers here should not worry anyone. Our reward will come later. As Wesonga said, 10 years, 5 years, who knows? It might come tomorrow, right? Because we believe. Anyway. So, don't question me. Just look at the numbers. We have we have 3 units. You've heard about the manual. We've heard about the semi-electric, and we've heard about the fully electric. So the price, this is actually introductory. Introductory.
You're looking at me, but okay.
No, not only you, but I'm picking on you for some reason. Anyway, this is the price for this year, for the whole of 2020. We are going to sell this bed, the manual bed, at $2,000. $2,000. The bed is sold without a mattress. And the semi-electric is going to go for $2,400. The fully electric, which is what we have before us here, will go for $2,700. Of course, the mattress, which is what we have here, will go for $1,500. And then the cover, which is what is on top of the bed, will go for $40. And then the underwear, which is also on top of the bed, will also go for $35. And then we have the universal cushion that you guys saw when the Songa was doing a presentation. It's going to go for $300. We have a silicone mattress cover. I don't know whether it's going to go on top of this here. Okay? So that one is going to make it even easier to move and go clean it back. Fix it. So actually, it's going to be easier for, you know, instead of taking the whole thing out there and clean it, you just take the silicone part of it, then you go wash. So that one we're going to sell it for just $150. So, if we keep going, Malcolm. And then, did you guys see the bed with a commode that is flushable? During the presentation, at the same time, that is going to go for the same price that we're selling. If it's electric, it's going to be, you know, it's going to go at the same price. And then, now, we did this not just because we want to justify why we are selling at this price. Honestly, in any business, there's the cost of production. There is the materials and labor. There is insurance and shipping. When we talk of shipping, our products are being manufactured in China and Taiwan. So can you imagine shipping from China, which is mainland China, then from China to the port? From the port to, let's say, Houston here. And then from Houston to our warehouse, let's say, NY Darlington, Grand Prairie, or Fort Worth. So that's a cost. Two, then we're going to have people from the warehouse, going to ship to the consumer. There's some costs coming in. So all that is what informed our decision to price our product at that much. And then there's taxes, we're going to have tariffs, we're going to have office personnel, and then we're going to have expenditure in the office. You know, you being investors, you're going to have an office when you come and question us, hey, how much have we made? You don't want to call Ezra and be like, man, what's going on? We want to have a good office for you guys, especially the investors when you come, and also for sales purposes. We have our competitors out there. Some of you who are in the market of, the business of nursing and healthcare, you've seen, as Edward said, you've seen what's in the market. It's not anywhere close to this. And then most of it is what gets problems that we're trying to solve. So we have a company called Striker. You can Google it. It has all manner of beds, thousands. Then there is another one called Jones. I met a guy who works for this company where I was working. This guy was he's an engineer, and one of these one days you guys will have a chance to meet him. So I told him, hey, look, we have a bed. Actually, the question I asked him, hey, how much do you guys sell these beds? He's like, man, you see that bed itself without a mattress? $12,000. Give you me $12,000. What Kenya shillings? 12,000. Then the mattress is another one. You know? So we had a good discussion along the whole way. So, man, I didn't tell him we have a product. He told me, man, if you guys ever find a way of coming with a product like this, you become rich. Then the guy was telling me stories on how he tried to invent a bed, and then he told me about some stories about, he didn't make it because of Carl, I don't know, all those stories. And then I told him, hey man, look, we have a bed, and these are the functions, He's like, man, you guys are going to kick us out of the business. I told him, no, now that you are an African, join our team. Then from there, he gave me a couple of ideas on what we need to do. He asked me about the pricing and all that. Actually, then, I don't even want to tell you what we were going to sell this bed. It was even much less than what we were. So, the guy told me, man, he's like, you guys just want to try with this thing. No. I said, okay, I'll go talk to my boss and then we'll see what we can do. We met the guy. Actually, he really helped us a lot. He gave us a couple of ideas. That's why we're here. So, what do I want to say about the pricing? Eventually, as we get into the market, we are going to either go up, but I guarantee you we will not go down. Because we are so well. Really? If I go to the hospital today, I'll take any kind of medication that I'm given because I want to take it, alright? Somebody will give you this water and tell you, man, if you drink this water, you'll be okay. Nobody wants to be a CNA. If you want to be a CNA, you want to drink. Honestly. So there's a lot of need out there. I've showed this product to a lot of people. The other day when I was working, I showed a friend of mine. He's like, man, can you imagine instead of having 3 CNAs, you're going to have only 1. Your work will be in the morning, you empty this tank, perhaps change the top cover, you go home. So they want to say hello. If I have my parent, for instance, at home, instead of taking my parent to the nursing home, I'd rather have him at home, and then I guarantee that after 8 hours from work, he will be dry. Real solutions that we try to give. Finally, I just want to tell you one thing. Do not see Easy Brain as this bed here. See beyond the bed in front of you. Why? Easy Drain Care Products. Easy Drain Care Products. There is a lot more than a tool. So, welcome on board. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. This time we'll have Zach talk to us about the target market.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. A little background, like Mr. Wasonga said earlier. I like investing in stuff. My wife will tell you I've invested in so much stuff that sometimes I don't want to go home because she'll say, again, another idea? You've lost so much money on the last time. So when Ezra called me and told me that he's got something that he needs to talk to me about, we met for a cup of coffee. We spent about 2-3 hours, and then I went home, I slept on it, I didn't tell my wife. But I saw it as an opportunity for something big. So I gathered enough courage to tell her. And the first thing she told me, what are you waiting for? And I said, in my mind, she's never been this fast to tell me let's go ahead. So I knew that we're going to make the right decision. So we met Ezra, he explained everything to her, and she wrote the check right there for part of the investment that we needed to do. And I'd like to thank Ezra so much for having thought of me. It's very rare that someone thinks of you when they've done all this work for 10 years and then calling some guy who doesn't know anything about medical to come and invest in this company. And he also gave me the opportunity to talk about the target markets for the product. So when you come up with a product, you have to have a market for it. So you don't want to try to sell this to McDonald's or La Quinta because they don't need it. Yeah. So a lot of you have talked about the target markets. Evans talked about home care. Wasonga talked about hospitals, and we targeted about 7 different hospitals that this can, markets that this can be used in. Hospitals is one of them, and rehab hospitals or centers, nursing homes, assisted living centers, home care, group homes and foster care homes, and private homes. In hospitals, this will venture into especially med-surg areas, units, and step-down units. We'll work our way up to more complex units like ICUs and burn units. Our marketing department and sales department will take care of that. Then we have rehab hospitals and centers. These are hospitals or centers for people who are recovering and need some form of therapy before they go back to their areas of residence. Their stay is usually not too long, but they'll still need, because sometimes they won't be able to go by themselves. A lot of you that are in the medical field probably studied in nursing homes and worked up to where you are right now, and you know how much of a need this is going to be in nursing homes. So basically, for older people, nursing homes, most of the people are old. I was telling my kids that I don't take me to a nursing home when I get old. I'd rather go to Kenya, and I think I'll be taken good care of that. So a lot of older people need this for assistance with their daily living activities, like the chair. I think you saw the chair up there, and the bed can also be used. And then we have assisted living areas. These are people who are fairly dependent, but still need some form of assistance from caregivers, or the families are not comfortable with them being in nursing homes. And we have home care. Some families would like to use this product at their homes. They're probably sick, but they don't want to be in facilities, so they'd rather have the family member taken care of at home. We have talked about group homes and private homes. And in conclusion, I'd like to say, remember, this will be a global company in the in the long run. So, like Evan said, this is something Wasonga, 10 years, 5 years from now. Me, I was looking at making money tomorrow. But you guys have told me I gotta wait for a while. So this is for our kids. I have 4 boys. I don't want them to work as hard as I've worked. I worked in corporate America for like 25, 30 years until I said I'm not moving anywhere. 7 years ago, I just left and started venturing into some stuff that costs money. So let's buckle up and let's make Easy Drain a household name. Let's go out there and sell this product. She'll take care of everything. We got a great marketing guy here. He knows a lot of loopholes and partner routes. Tell him how to get what the partner routes mean. So hopefully this will be a great investment that we have ventured into. And once more, Ezra, thank you so much for inviting us and letting us into the business. Thank you.
All right, so Patrick Njero is a logistician. And,
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me back there? You can hear me? I'll try and up my voice a little bit. No, it's okay, guys. Okay. So I thought I was gonna get one of these, but unfortunately not. So I'm just gonna stick to my phone. For those who didn't hear my name the first time, my name is Patrick Njero. The chat has introduced me. I'm in logistics, so I'm gonna talk to you about logistics of Easy Drain products. I'll try as much to stick to the script, so I'll be very brief. Logistics is the management of transportation or information from one place to the other. Logistics involves many things like transportation, inventory, packaging and supplies, sometimes security, but I'll add this, most of all, safety of the product from our warehouse, or rather from the manufacturers to our warehouse, and then from our warehouse to the customer. I'll explain that later. In the last 2 shipments for our prototypes, we used air freight, which is very expensive, and even though it's faster, but with mass production, we will be using sea freight, which will be way cheaper.
Another Stella right here. Nice, Stella. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a core sales team that meets on Telegram and we weekly.
Oh, on Telegram?
Yes.
Okay.
So Ezra, that's up to you. Any salesperson that wants to join or know what's going on with sales or marketing, join us on Telegram. We have a private chat. Yeah. And if you connect with me, because I own the group, I will connect you.
And that is the place where you can get all the answers, because everybody is there.
Perfect.
When it comes to stuff.
Yes.
So I just jumped a little bit. I'll start to by introducing myself. Who am I? My name is Stella, as I told you. I do have a background in sales, but I did not sell actual products. I used to sell ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What ideas?
Television.
Ah.
Yeah, so I used to sell for TV. It's basically walking to someone and say, okay, we have this idea of a television program we're coming up with, and we need millions from you. And that was part of the hardest thing to sell, because this person is going to put millions believing that you're going to do it. Because most of the productions, they will invest money, then we will go out there and make the real production. But you really had to convince this person to sell. So when I heard from Ezra asking me to do this, I was like, wow, that's cool, because I'm selling something that I can see. And I can be able to demonstrate and say, this is what I'm selling to you. So that's why I was very excited, and I was like, I'm going to do this. So together with Malcolm, who I like to introduce himself.
Yes, so Malcolm is my name. Yankir is my last name. Who am I? That's my father right there. He's the one that started all of this. My sales experience. I am formerly known as a life insurance agent, and I've also done a little bit of telemarketing and network marketing. So that's where most of my sales experience will come from. So we'll be applying that here, making sure that we can give you and anybody else the tools that they need to succeed.
Yeah. Okay. Our next question will be, why are we here?
Oh, oops.
Thank you. Why am I here? To help you, the sales team, with all the answers you need and the tools to go out there and make the sale. We are the people who will be in trouble with you if you're not giving us numbers. Okay? So we'll be the ones who will be getting back to with what you're doing out there, and basically, we want to know what you've done. Why are you here, Mark?
I'm here to make sure that you sell this product, because if you don't, I'm going to be very angry.
You don't want to see Malcolm when he's angry.
You don't want to see me when
Okay.
So that's why I'm here.
You know what? I'm actually going to answer that question myself, because that's not. No offense to you. No offense to Malcolm. That's not why you should be here. You need to be here to make money.
Yes.
That's why I'm here. Oh, the next one.
Oh, what? The next bullet is why I'm here to make money. That's.
What are you going to get out of this?
Yeah. So, I'd like to throw this back to the audience. And I'd like to have like maybe 2 or 3 people. Why are you here today? If, for example,
as stated, I need to make a lot of money.
When she calls on you, will you stand up, please? Because if you're a salesperson, you need to be assertive, an extrovert. There it is. There it is.
As stated earlier, I want to make a lot of money.
Good.
Beautiful.
I have a question.
Love that answer.
As always.
Who else wants to make money?
I do. How do you intend to get us where we want to get to? How do you intend to help us make money? What's your pitch, for lack of a better word?
Okay. Our pitch is to give you the tools that you need. Help you understand what you're selling. Okay? And because, as I say, maybe some of you are already doing sales and you know what you're supposed to be doing, the basics of selling. So we want to gear down our trainings. We will be having trainings that will be like maybe monthly or weekly, depending on what the office decides, for you to get all the tools that you need.
So are you getting the
so we'll be giving
from,
you materials. Sorry?
Are you getting the direction from Ezra, or you wanna tailor the training on your own pace?
We will be tailoring the, of course Ezra is our boss. Nothing
True,
goes out without him.
As the sales manager, you're the one who has to tailor the training on your own pace.
No,
right?
we want
Am I
to,
right or no?
We want to tailor the training towards the needs of the people who are going out there to sell.
Okay.
Because I know the moment you get out there, everybody's going to come back and say, these are the challenges I'm facing. How can I overcome this? So that's what we want to hear from you the moment you're out there too.
Let me just say, let me answer your questions. Yeah. Is the 3 of us, because I'm included, and I still have my presentation to give on sales and marketing, yeah? However, between the 3 of us, as Stella said, we're going to give you the tools, the script, the motivation, which is part of my presentation in a bit, all right, to succeed. Because I don't know about all of you, but I'm here to make money. Yes? And I'm not, I believe in Ezra, I believe in the product, yes. But at the end of the day, all right, I need to make money. Ezra, go ahead.
I was just going to make a request that if we could let them do a presentation before we ask a question, that might be helpful because it might.
Well, she said she invited people to ask questions.
Otherwise, we won't be able to go through
okay.
what we need to cover.
So this is go through. Yeah. Let's move.
So we'll be out of that next. So.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the agenda of things. All right, so why are some successful athletes making sales? First and foremost, you have to set goals. If you don't have a train of thought or where you're going to be going in, you're pretty much walking in the dark or in circles. So we definitely need to do goals. What are your goals for 2020? That's just a question that you can ask oneself, not so much specific that you have to apply right now. Planning is key to achieving. You need daily goals. How many calls are you going to make? How many people are you going to follow up on? Those are the things that you now have to start to put in play once you're moving in motion. And please just let these goals be pertaining to Easy Drain, of course. That's the best results that you can get. For the next one.
All right. So, for you to be able to succeed, the thinking that you must have to stand up and take the action. A lot of people do sales, but actually you don't get paid by selling. You get paid by closing the deal. So, what we are looking at is take the action, go out there. Now we've been given a lot of information about this product. We're going to try and give you prospects. Mr. Machani gave you a little bit of what we're looking at, the possible clients that we're looking at, and if we're going to try and increase the list as time goes by. So, go out there, take the action, and start selling.
Next is going to be clarity and confidence. So clarity. When taking action, you need to know your target. That's part of goal setting. Know your priorities. What can you do today, and what can be put off to the side? That's definitely going to make sure it's going to be a big part of your success of what you're doing. Most importantly, you need to know your product and your company. Your clarity and your confidence is not going to be up there if you don't necessarily know what it is you're talking about and you can't overcome objections. So be sure that you're taking the time to actually study what is going on before you actually hit the sales field. Having a schedule. Having a schedule is definitely important. You want to make sure that you know when you're making calls and when you're seeing prospects. You don't want to intertwine the two or be confused in your mind of what you're doing. And making goals. That's pretty much the point that we're trying to hammer in. You have to have goals if you want to be in sales. So yeah.
Okay, confidence. This is, it has a very thin line of being a nuisance and really being confident in what you sell. How many of you have been approached by salespeople and you like, my first 10 seconds when I meet a salesperson, I'll be able to decide whether I'm going to give you audience or not. So how do you have that confidence to approach somebody and really by understanding your product? If you know your product, the first 10 seconds that you're approaching your prospect, you're able to make this person either listen to you or walk away. So you should have that confidence by understanding your product. What are you selling? I was telling Malcolm a story one of these days. I had a project that I was supposed to sell, and my manager asked me that my target was to get 20 million Kenyan shillings for a production that I was supposed to do. And I knocked doors after door. I had all this list of people that I'm supposed to talk to. And I didn't get any appointment to go to an office. But one day, I was in an elevator somewhere, and I saw someone I've been looking for getting into an elevator. And I said, this is my moment. I went into that elevator, and by the time this guy was going to 7th floor, I was going to 5th floor, but I decided to go all the way with him up there. Imagine in an elevator, there are other people going up there, but around maybe 20 seconds, I got 20 out of that guy. Why? Because I knew what I was selling. It didn't take me so much to explain what I was doing. Of course, there's a process. But he was like, yes, here's my card, reach me out, I want this. So how do you express yourself when you meet somebody and that goes, and how do you take that opportunity that you have to talk about your product? So by understanding your pitch and understanding your competition. There was a few companies that were mentioned of who our competition is. So knowing what they are offering and what we are offering that is going to be unique to give us the money. And knowing your numbers, because people will ask you, how many people are using this product? So you taking time to understand EasyDrain more, and we are going to give you brochures. We're going to have a website whereby you can always refer prospects back to for more information. Next.
All right, so definitely we're going to go into knowledge now. Using your resources to your full benefits. There's a lot of resources that you have around. Biggest one is going to be that man right there. Any questions that you have, you definitely want to get those hashed out as soon as possible. Other people's stories. Now this is something that I learned when I was in the field myself. You tend to get courage through other people's successes, and also you learn from their downfalls. So don't be afraid to ask someone that's close to you, how was your experience in the field today? Because you might just learn something, or use the information that they had to get you that next sale.
That's it, working amongst yourselves.
Understanding where to find those resources. Usually this is going to tie down to just, being able to ask. Don't be afraid to ask those questions when you can't find or you don't know what it is that you're looking for.
If I may add a little bit about resources. I mean, there's so many videos online that you can watch, and they're all free. You can watch and learn. I mean, you can't have enough knowledge to when it comes to self. And there are places like LinkedIn. How many of us are on LinkedIn? How many of us?
Nobody wants to connect with me. But I'm on LinkedIn. Nobody wants to connect with me.
How many of us have gotten business or referrals through LinkedIn?
I have.
Same. Yeah.
Leads.
So yeah, leads.
Leads.
Endorsements through So those are resources that you can use to get clients for your.
Using your clients' resources for such as referrals. So let's say you're in a meeting and you're with somebody that says, I like your product, but I'm not ready to buy now. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the end. You can now take that person and ask if there's anybody in which they might feel that might be interested in such a product.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can turn out to be a sale. And then from there, keep doing the same thing. You just have to be resourceful with the tools that you have in front of you.
Yeah, I think we talked about competition. Yeah. Yeah. So, perseverance. Guys, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, you will be told no so many times, but you gotta get up and go back until you get it. Yeah. So, giving up is what losers do, and we are not losers. We can. Rejection is part of the game. Just have a tough skin. Go back. Use every opportunity you get. Don't wait and say, oh, I'll go back next week. If you see today, maybe you'll go someone will tell you, today I have a meeting, I can't see you. Ask, what time can I see you? Right? I mean, be persuasive as much as you can. Rapport. This is a total responsiveness with people, the first impressions that you create. I mean, as EasyDrain, we like to be, when we go out there, we want you to represent as well. You are our ambassadors, you are ambassadors of the, I mean, these products, if the salespeople are not selling, then nothing is happening for the company. So you got to go out there and represent as well on how you're dressing, how you're talking, and mostly body language. You wanna add something on body language?
Well, body language is pretty self-forward.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Steve comes through. Man, he's good. Anyway, so just being open to the person. When they're speaking, listen, have bright eyes, don't look like you're sleepy. Please get good rest before any Definitely, you don't want to be following the prospects. A lot of gestures, don't turn your back to them if they're talking to you. The simple things, but things that people really don't know. Just do what you would want somebody to do to you if you were presenting something that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Avoid cheap talk when you get in front of a client. Just focus. You know what? I mean, most people will be looking, how professional are you? I mean, don't talk too much. Minimize the talking unless you're really talking about the product. Don't bore this person because really they don't care. They don't care.
Closing tips. Stop being like others. You want to be unique. You want to have your own charisma, how you present yourself, how you ask for a close. There's no one way to close a sale. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how do I close a sale? There's not one way. What you have to do now is research, find a rhythm in which you can portray, and put your personality into it. Because people are buying products, but they're also buying into who you are. So that's one thing to remember when you're closing a sale. Let this prospect talk freely. Please do not get into the habit of cutting people off when they're talking. Allow them to express themselves. Be ready to have those objections. It's more encouraging whenever somebody asks you a question and you can answer right there rather than saying, that's a good question, let me find out. And then you have to ask, figure that out. But that's definitely going to take into part of being ready. Simple questions like this.
So, I was having a conversation with Dennis the other day. He was like, he's been selling, right? He's been selling, but he's looking for how do I close that deal. And you're in front of a prospect and they told you, I'll get back to you. Do those people really go back? Do they get back to you? Maybe 80% of the time they don't get back to you. That is one way of kindly telling you, I'm not interested. I'll call you. But as a salesperson, when you're in front of that person and try to get to understand why are they really not closing the deal at that moment. Don't ask them questions that are yes or no questions. Create your questions in a way that they're able to elaborate. Because you're providing a solution. Ask them, is it the price? Is it the terms? What is it? Because back in your mind, because you know your product, then you are able to quickly think. If it's the price, then talk about the price. Imagine what you can do. Give them offers in case there's any offer going on. That time, you are able to capture their attention.
So here are the basic steps to a sale. You're going to have your introduction. Give a short story. My dad always starts with a short story as well. Feel free to interpret your own version or just tell his own and say, this is how it all began. Display. What we would be showing is, not showing, what we'll be having are videos of how the bed works. That way, you can't all just take this to see every client. But we'll have something for you that you can actually show them and they can see how it works. Something interactive, that way they can see all the functions and it's self-explanatory. Your close. Yeah, close. That's pretty much self-explanatory, closing the sale. And rehash and asking for a referral. So that's going to go towards the end after you've already sorted your business.
So you've had all these basics and now you're in front of the customer. What do? So Mr. Ella is going to take us through the script that everybody's going to use the same script when you get in front of the client. You might want to just adjust it a little bit to fit the conversation, but it's just, we want to have like a standard way of talking to our prospects. So, Ella?
Yes. Malcolm, can you load the scripts that I sent? I don't want to break your little machine. Go ahead.
I don't have an answer for that.
Nice. Well, I do, Siri. Anyway, I have a little show and tell. But go ahead. Put the script up. Yeah? Well, while he's doing that, again, my name is Eli, and for those that have not met me before, I own TGC Marketing. We are a branding, publicity, and entertainment, Edward? Entertainment agency, all right? I'll talk to you later. So we're Dallas-based, and I handle accounts really internationally. So that's what I bring to the table. Now, one of the things that I do is I have worked with sales teams throughout my whole career. A good sales team will have a good marketing team help them, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to provide the tools to help sales do their job better, quicker, and is there any way to magnify that? Come on, man. Come on, Malcolm, get it together. Okay, so I have a show and tell. I have a show and tell. You want to see it?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, here's my show and tell. What is this?
Can I feel it?
I'm afraid I'll never see you again. What is this? What is this? It's money. It's $100. You want to feel it?
Can I have it?
$100 bill. Maybe someone will walk away with this $100 bill. Don't worry, Ezra will reimburse me. So, right, Ezra? He's like, oh. He didn't know I was going to do that. All right, so we're going to go, now they went through some of the basics. I just want to add to some of the things that they said. I don't like the word pitch, because I don't know about you, I don't like to be sold. Right?
Right.
But if we have a natural conversation about what Easy Drain is and what it's for, we're having a conversation. I'm not selling it, even though I'm selling them. Yes? Yes. And then you get lots of these. Yeah. By the way, I did what you asked, is in another presentation with another audience, I actually gave the dollar bill to go around the table. It never made it to the end of the table, and I don't know who ended up with it. So that's why I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm not going to do it. All right, but I do want to add some information. And I know, Ezra, you said everybody wait until you ask the questions. Okay. Ezra knows me, and the sales team knows me, and I get animated and passionate. So just bear with me. Yes. All right. But I have some points to make. Yes? Stella and Malcolm said it well. You have to know the product. What is it? How does it work? It does this. It goes out there. It does this. Yes? I cannot tell you a bad salesperson does not know their product. And then you just lost the sale. All right? Speak with the decision maker. Now, Susan, who works at the front desk, she's awesome, she's great, but she doesn't make the decisions. As we go through the scripts, you're going to see you need to speak with the person that's going to say yes. Does that make sense? Tailor your script, and we're going to go through the script real quick. Tailor your script to your voice. You can't use my words. Oh, they're good. You can't use my words. Use your words. Right? Because if there's one thing I can do it, by the way. If there's one thing that most people can figure out, is what? Insincerity. If you are insincere, if you do not know your product, guess what? You just lost the sale. Does that make sense, everybody? Is everybody with me? Okay. And I'm going to stop right here, because we're talking about sincerity. Most people can pick up insincerity. This is something human, you know, that we are, you know? Okay, so I showed you this, and nobody lunged for it, nobody wants it, fine.
I want it.
Oh, there you go, thank you. Will all the salespeople please stand? Please. Who's going to sell? Please stand. All right? Now, beautiful, beautiful, good. Now, we're gonna answer one question. We're gonna answer one question right now, and then you can sit down. Yes? It's called motivation. Because you ask the question, why are we here? Right? And you have to know, if a person succeeds, you have to know their motivation. What motivates you when you get up in the morning? Is it your family? Is it your church? Is it you need to make money? Right? Is it what motivates you? So I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna tell you what motivates me, and every salesperson here is gonna answer that question. My motivation, I'll tell you my motivation. My motivation is the work. I love my work. I love what I do. I've been in marketing 35 years. I love it. So Ezra, it is an honor and a privilege to work with you.
We are not necessarily going to be setting up, but we are going to seek alliances. There are some medical equipment companies in those countries. We are going to approach some of them so that they can be our distributors in those countries, so that we do not have to be going to deal with all the laws and regulations in every country, while we can already alliance with the people who are already doing business there, and they be our distributors. But I also said, if you know you have contacts somewhere else, outside the US, outside Kenya, any other place, and you would like us to consider that, since that will be under your network, we can work towards that, so that at that particular time we can use your contacts and set them up there, and then we'll have a good network going over there. That's one of the things I was trying to address. I think for those guys who have been attending the sales marketing meetings, there's some paperwork here you need to sign before you go. So before you leave, Malcolm and Stella here has some forms you need to sign before you go. So please make sure you see Malcolm, Stella before you go. And I believe what Dennis is doing, he has poured water on there and it's emptying it onto the drain. Last time I had somebody ask me, why is there water pulling up there? That's because that thing is new. The starch, which is there, that's why it's staying there. Once that thick cloth is washed, the starch is broken down and the water doesn't go out there. I think, if no questions, I think we have covered a lot. And if you come up with any question before the next meeting, feel free to email me or call me, and then we will go from there.
Round of applause for all of y'all for making it here tonight. We are, just as a vote of thanks, would like to thank you sincerely on behalf of Ezra and Easy Dream team. And for all those people who've been working tirelessly to make this a success, we're grateful. For everyone for taking your time to be here tonight, thank you very much. And so at this time, you can leave at your own leisure after we have a word of prayer, of course. But
and we know what we are doing. I'm sure there is no reason why we cannot get ahead. I have talked to a few friends and they have presently looked at my face and said, are you forgetting you are black? I know I am black. You don't have to tell me that. That does not qualify me that I cannot do something which is of substance in this earth because I'm black. So a lot of people who I thought actually I looked up to for mentors and for guidance, and then they come up with a statement like that, then you wonder, where are we heading? If this is the leaders I was looking up to, and this is actually how far they reason, then we are in big trouble. I guess we need to find other friends and start really setting the base, because the base is not there. And all of you sitting in here, if you have children or younger brothers and younger sisters, like I have a younger brother there who claims a lot of times that he's my dad, something like that.